home automation. So before getting into my session, let me ask you to imagine a scenario that have you ever been wondered of switching off and on your lights, controlling equipments, locking doors of your homes with a single touch on your smartphones? What if it is possible on your phones? So let's begin an introduction to home automation. That is, my session is all about controlling your home with your fingertips. So let's start. So what is home automation? So let me give you a definition of home automation. So it is the use of one or more computers to control basic home functions and features. That means the entire home functions, including automatic control of all equipment, light loads, temperature control, etc., can be done by use of home automation. And it can be done automatically and also remotely. That means in automation, the person do not require any human intervention. That means the entire control can be done both automatically and remotely. Remotely in sense, that means you can control the entire loads. Loads in the meaning, you can control the fan, light and all equipments of your house even when you are far away from your house. Then, such an automated house where the complete control is done by a phone is known as a smart home. That you can see in the picture itself, the home functions are controlled using a Wi-Fi connection on the smartphone. So, some of us think that why should we go for home automation, replacing our traditional system where every control can be done by ourselves. So let me give you some examples or some reasons to justify this question. So my first reason is all equipments in your fingertips. That means in this picture, you can see that all control of your home, including LED control, closing and opening of windows, light control, temperature control, TV control, etc. can be done using smartphone with a single touch. That means you don't have to go and intervene to operate the circuits in our home. You can do all that with a single tap on the smartphone. And next point I am putting forward is increasing safety. I again repeat, in this picture, you can see in this picture of the mobile, you can see a camera, a picture of a camera. So just by tapping on it, we can see what are the things happening around surroundings our home, even when we are not at our homes with the help of your smartphone. And the third point is pleasing look. The automated house does not need so many switchboards and so many wires running around the wall, etc. to control the circuits of our home. Instead, it needs a multi-touch pro. Multi-touch pro is a device in which entire home functions can be assigned and controlled. That will be the only device that will be in our house when our house are automated. And I'll explain the working of it in the upcoming slide. Then next is energy savings. I'm sure that we all are concerned about this factor. This can be done to a large extent by home automation. That means energy savings can be done to a large extent by the help of home automation. So I will explain with an example. That you're going to office and you forget to switch off some of the lights at your home. So by conventional method, what we can do is that only once we return from the office, we will be able to switch off the lights. And so that much energy of that much time is being wasted. But if your home is automated, you can switch off that lights from your smartphones even when you are at office. And then next is, I would explain 2 points together, that is less human intervention and status monitoring. So home automation is a technology where the human intervention is very less. So as I mentioned in the previous example, you can do all control using your phones by sitting at any part of the world, and you will receive the status of all appliances and loads on your phone. So I would like to give an example for this reason. That is, suppose your home have 2 members and both are going for jobs. Meanwhile, if your close relatives are coming to your home and you should not want to make them wait outside, so you can automatically open the lock of the doors and let them in, and you will receive the status of it. That means at the moment when your doors are open, you will notify in your mobile. That is, you will get as a message, or you can see the status through the mobile. You can get the status at the moment when you do a certain application. So these all are the main reasons that can justify why home automation. That means home automation helps you to connect your home no matter where you are. Just like we are connecting up with our family, friends using social medias like WhatsApp, Facebook, etc. And so this video is a simple demo that we are giving to our students in our institute about the control of lights using a tablet. So this is a home automation panel that we have in our college by Schneider Electric. So you can see that by just a tap, I'll show you once again. That is, by just a single tap on the tablet, you can see the light has been glowing on the automation panel. Likewise, this is just one example. Likewise, you can control whatever the equipments that you are using in your home with just a single tap on your tablet. And this is another video where I would like to show the function of Multi-Touch Pro. So the Multi-Touch Pro is this black device. Okay, this black device is known as a Multi-Touch Pro, which is a touch screen, and this is the only device that we need to install in our home for giving you complete control. And I will show how it works. You can see now, you can just swipe the pages and you can make the lights turn on by a single touch. That, as I will show this once again. You can swipe the pages. You can just give a simple tap as you're doing in your phones, and you can control the entire circuits. Like this is a miniature version of a phone. You can swipe the pages for changing the functions of your home, and it is such elegant in nature. So this is the one we are using in home automation to have the entire controls. And next, what is home automation using KNX? So before that, what is KNX? So KNX, an abbreviation of CONEX, is an open standard for both commercial and domestic building automation. That means it is an open standard and it is a manufacturer independent standard for automation. The main thing is that the home automation is done by programming. So let me say the advantage of using KNX standard in home automation. That if your house is automated and you have bought some components, some home automation devices of both ABB and Schneider in example. So at that case, if you have to link that all devices, irrespective of their companies, you can use that KNX standard to link the devices and can program in this KNX standard. But if the Schneider have a protocol known as, like KNX, known as CBus. So the CBus is a Schneider owned protocol where we cannot program and link any other company's home automation devices. That means if the ABB home automation device need to be programmed, that cannot be done using a CBus protocol which owns by Schneider. So this KNX is an open standard by which we can program and we can interface a number of companies' home automation devices. And so apart from it, it manages lighting, blind and shutters and security system, energy management, remote control, and so on. That means entire home functions can be controlled using this KNX. And apart from all this, this is a best system. Best system in the sense, it can communicate between the devices. That means it will help to communicate between the devices. As you can see in the picture, this is a KNX bus, and this bus is being communicated. This bus is capable of communicating between the devices. And this is a reliable technology that has been persisting more than 25 years, and it is more flexible. As I said, you can use any home automation devices. So it is flexible, safer, comfort, and cost efficient. And this is an example of how our traditional electrical installation is. We can see in the picture that there are so many switches on the bottom side. You can see as there are so many switches for controlling the equipments in your home, and there will be so many multiple units for viewing the different functions that's happening in our home. That means for lighting, there will be one unit. For dimming, there will be another unit. For closing and opening of windows, there will be another unit. So we will be having more units, multiple units in our home, and that is more space consuming and so difficult to operate. And so this is the present installation of home automation with KNX. So as we can see in the picture, there will be only one device, Multi-Touch Pro. This is a Multi-Touch Pro. This is a Multi-Touch Pro with the thermostat control. This is the only device we will be having inside our home to control the entire equipments in our home. That includes light, all equipments, and opening and closing of shutters and all. And for inside control, we can use this Multi-Touch Pro. And for outside control, for the remote operation, we can use the tablet or smartphones. So on one touch control, we can do the functions like lighting, dimming, or that is closing and opening of curtains, air conditioning, etc. And then what is the home automation system? So this is a demo of home automation system by Schneider in our college. So I will explain this, and before going to the explanation, I would like to divide this home automation system into two. That is a right side and a left side. So right side is known as home automation system panel, that is HAS panel. In that there is a power supply, then there is a switched mode power supply, and then there is a visor or known as a home link. Then there is a USB interface, and then there is actuators mount on the HAS panel. And on the left side we have push button. This white color device is push button, which is a mechanically operated devices, just like a switch. That is more advanced than that of a switch. And then there we have a Multi-Touch Pro. This is a black in color, and a Wi-Fi is being placed. And then there are two type of loads, that is dimmable LED and non-dimmable LED for a particular function that I will explain in the upcoming slides. And there is a green, you can see that at the top you can see a green cable. So this green cable is connected to the devices where we should be programmed. That is, all the programmable devices should be connected with this green cable. And then next is, I would like to explain how the system works. So this is the green cable, and this green cable is a green cable, and inside this green cable there will be a twisted pair of cable having 4 wires with 0.8 mm square thickness, and it is used as a bus cable. As I mentioned, this bus cable will be capable of transmitting information between the devices. And the KNX devices are connected electrically in parallel to the bus cable. That means all the devices that connected on the KNX system or in the automation system are being connected in parallel to each other. So via the bus cable, that is by the bus cable or with the help of bus cable, the information is transmitted between the devices. And there is another peculiarity that every KNX devices are supplied with a power of 29 volt DC. For this, we will fit a SMPS next to power supply, and this SMPS switched mode power supply will convert 230 volt AC into 29 volt DC that is required to KNX devices. And then this type of KNX system or this type of home automation devices have an open bus topology and length of a bus line including maximum 1000 meter. That means the distance between the power supply or the first device to the end device, the end load, maybe anything that we made non-dimmable LED or maybe any equipment, the distance between the first equipment to the last device should be of 1000 meter. So even if you do automations for a big homes, the distance from the first device to the last device will be of 500 or maximum 600 meters. And when we look or when we go for a huge buildings like Info Park, maybe the distance will exceeds than 1000 meters. So at that case, we can use a line coupler or bus coupler. And then what is mean by open bus topology? That open bus topology means the cable should be drawn from the power supply to the end device, and there should not be any loop that is coming back from the last device to the first device. That means it should be an open in topology. And as I said, the programming is being, this home automation is completely done by a programming, by interlinking of some devices. So this programming is done by a software known as Engineering Tool Software by KNX, that is ETS. So this green cable is known as European Installation Field Bus Cable, and that is capable of carrying power to devices as well as it carry information between the devices. And so next is bus access and data exchange. That means this is an example of how information is communicated between the devices. So all connected bus devices can exchange data between each other, packed into telegrams and sent over the bus. That means the devices that connected in the home automation system can exchange the data, and packed into telegrams means messages. So it has been packed into messages and it can be sent over to the bus. Okay, I will explain this with an example. You can see the figure here. And before that, all the transmissions in the KNX system or in the home automation system are like a discrete output. That will be either of one. One means staying on condition. 0 means staying in off condition. So let me give you this with an example. So the first device, which is labeled as 1.1.1, is push button, which now act as a sensor. Okay, and then the one with labeled as 1.1.2 is an actuator. Okay, which converts this electrical signal from the sensor to a mechanical signal. So when we give an impulse to switch on the light, that is when we press on the push button, or when we give an impulse to switch on the light using push button, this impulse is being carried over to this actuator via this green colored bus cable. Okay, that is means that EIB cable, this information is transmitted and it will reach to actuator. And this actuator receive the information, and that is the information was to turn on the light. So the actuator process and execute the function. That is finally the connected bulb will be turned on. And there are some basic components in KNX system. So the first component, there are 3 components. So the first component is system components. So system components are the components that is used to build the communicating network. That is, for example, power supply and USB interface. That means if you have to build this communicating network, we need some essential components. Such components are known as a system component. And next is sensors. I think you are all familiar with the word sensor. And the sensor dictates an external event happening around, and that has been transformed or converted to a KNX information or a digital output either as 1 or 0. And then it sends the information as message on the bus. So it will convert that input, this digital output, and it sends the information as a message on the bus. And finally, the command receiver is actuator. And this actuator receives that message from the bus, and then it processes the information and execute the function. So I have given the figure of each components next to the definition. So this is like a power supply. And then this push button is acting as a sensor, and this is a switch actuator which is responsible to make the light on by receiving an impulse from the sensor or a push button. So let me give you the system components in more detail. So the first system component is USB interface. This is a USB interface. This is a picture of a USB interface which we will be mounted on the home automation system panel. And it is an interface used for connecting a programming device with a USB interface to the bus. That means I mentioned that home automation is done by programming. So after the programming has been done in the PC, you have to dump or burn that program into the home automation system panel. That means we have to dump that program into the devices connected in the system. So for that we use a cable that is just like a USB cable. This is the cable that we are using for dumping the programs into the programmable devices. So this has two ends. That is, this larger end is being connected to the PC and the smaller end is being connected to the slot. And then there's next about sensors. So as I mentioned, sensors detect the external event. It transforms to a KNX information and it will send the information to the actuators via bus cable. So this is one of the sensors. There are so many number of sensors in home automation, but I just explained our two types of sensors. So this is a one sensor which is known as occupancy sensor. So this occupancy sensor is a sensor which detects the motions or the movements of a human or any other object in a small areas. That means inside this, to detect the movements, we have to mount a passive infrared sensor in it. So inside it, there is a passive infrared sensor or known as PIR sensor. And that sensor detects the heat that is being reflected from a human. That is, while the movement, there will be a heat deflected or reflected from a human's body, and that is being detected by this PIR. And this is the figure of a PIR sensor. And the maximum range of this type of occupancy sensor is radius of 7 meter. That means 14 meter diameter can be covered. And the application is made in small areas and the angle of detection is 360 degree. And next sensor is corridor presence sensor. That is, this is a figure of a corridor presence sensor. And this is a type of sensor which are used in areas where the passage is long. That means this have a higher range than the occupancy sensor. The range of occupancy sensor is a 14 meter dia, but for the corridor presence sensor, the range is 18 meter dia. So that 4 meter difference between these two sensors. And this type of sensors also use passive infrared sensor for this movement detection. And the application areas are corridors. And I'll explain the working principle, that is how the sensor acts. So this is a typical example. So that when a person enters the room, that is within the range of the sensor, the heat is being reflected from his body, and that heat is being detected by this passive infrared sensor, which is placed inside this occupancy sensors. In all motion sensors, a passive infrared sensor is being placed inside the sensor. And this passive infrared or PIR sensor convert the input to digital output. That means convert the movement into a digital output by a comparator. And this digital output, which is either 0 or 1, that is means either off or on, will pass as a message to the actuator. And this actuator, and by the actuator, the load is triggered via this bus cable. And so I'll explain that when the man is inside the room, or when the man is getting inside the room within the range of the sensor, the light will turn on. And when he leaves within the range of the sensor, the light will turn off. That means in the metro stations, washrooms, you can see that there will be no any switchboards to control the lights on the washroom. There will be only having this sensor, and the sensor detect our presence and automatically the light will turn on. And actuators. So this is actuators, as I mentioned, is receive the telegram and it processes and executes the function. So there are mainly 3 type of actuators which we use in home automation system. So the first one is switch actuator. So this switch actuator, it is an actuator for controlling of non-dimmable lights. That means they are used to control the on and off of the lights. That means they will be having only 2 outputs. That is either in 1 state or either in 0 state. This non-dimmable LEDs use and non-dimmable drive. This non-dimmable drive is helping for the light to off and light to on. This is a dimming, next is a dimming actuator. So this is a figure of a dimming actuator which needs external power supply for both the module and for connecting the loads. And this dimming actuator helps to control the intensity of the light. That means we can vary the brightness of the light. And this dimming actuators, that is this type of dimming actuators, use a dimmable LED, that is dimmable lights which have a dimmable drive on it. This dimmable drive inside the dimmable lights will have a resistance varying property, and by varying the resistance, the current intensity or the brightness can be varied. And I'll explain that with an I'll explain this with an example, that if we vary this speed of a fan using regulators, that if we put the speed at 3, the fan will run according to that speed. Similarly, you can vary the intensity of the light with the level of 0 to 100. So you can vary the intensity of the light from 0 to 100. That you have to only need is to program the intensity level that you are required. That is, this will be morely implemented on home theaters where the intensity of the light is very low. And then next is blind actuators. This blind actuator is a type of actuator which is used to control the opening and closing of shutters and curtains of our home. So this have a two terminals, like this up arrow indicates the opening of the curtain and the down arrow indicates the closing of the curtains. So we all know that for a movement we need a motor. So what we have to do is that if on the noon time the sun rays are very of high intensity. So in that case, if we have to close the curtains automatically, what we need to do is that we can do that automatically. For that, we have to place a 4-wire motor. That's 4-wire motor for home automation applications is available on Somfy. And so a Somfy 4-wire motors can be placed on the curtains, and we can connect that terminals of the motor. That means the motor have 4 wire and that having 4 terminals: open, close, neutral, earth. The open of the motor can be connected to the open of the blind actuator. Then close of the motor can be connected to the close of blind actuator, and the neutral can be commonly looped, and earth can be taken to the distributional board. And so you can get the curtain with an automatic control. Then next is another integral part, that is push button. So push button is just an advanced form of switch, that is mechanically operating switch, where a human is needed for its operation. And so this is a push button which is used to control the loads in a circuit. So I will explain how this push button works. That is, this is a one gang. This is an example of a one gang push button. This one gang push button have 2 buttons, and we can control 2 outputs. That is, we can control 2 lights. Example. So if example, we can assign on off on this portion, on this up portion. We can assign the on, or we can assign the off in the down portion in a single button. And for dimming up and dimming down, we can assign the dimming up in this portion, on this up portion, and we can dim down in this portion. Okay, so we can assign this accordingly to our requirement. And this push button have 1 gang, 2 gang, 3 gang, 4 gang. I will give the figures of it. This is a 1 gang having 2 buttons and 2 LEDs. This is a 2 gang, have 2 buttons and 4 LEDs. That is, 4 output can be controlled. This is a 3 gang and 6 buttons and 6 LEDs. And finally, 4 gang is of 8 buttons and 8 LEDs can be controlled. And then multi-touch probe. So multi-touch probe is an important and integral part that we have been mounted in our home automation, in our home that has been automated. So this multi-touch probe is been fixing on a wall. So it is a multi-touch screen on which all functions are displayed. So I'll say an example. You can see in the figure that it is been assigned as a lighting on this page. This black color is known as a page. So it is lighting. You can see this is lighting. So under lighting, you can assign 4 functions like lighting of our bedroom, lighting of kitchen, then lighting of another 2 rooms. We can assign such 4 functions. And similarly, you have 8 pages, and in 8 pages you can assign each functions, and within 1 page you can assign 4 functions. That means 8 into 4 equal to 32 functions can be assigned in a single multi-page flow. That means if your home have exceed of 32 functions, you can use another multi-test pro. But if your home have only 32 functions, including your equipment control and temperature control, you can use this one multi-test pro. And using this one multi-test pro, you can control the entire devices of your home. And so this is like a miniature version of a phone. That means this is small version of a phone where we can swipe the images. This is a lighting. So if you swipe for the next page, you can see the equipment control. So you can swipe and can change the functions. Next is home link. So this is an integral part which is being mounted on the home automation system panel. So it can communicate with KNX TP or IP and integrate with KNX functions. So let me make it more clear. That is, TP or IP means transmission protocol and internet protocol, which is a set of networking protocols which allows this KNX devices to communicate, and by communicating you can integrate all the KNX function in the system. And then Modbus RTU and TCP can be integrated with metering. That means the Modbus RTU or TCP. TCP means Transmission Control Protocol. And that is a protocol with the transmission control that runs on Ethernet, and this can be integrated for meters. That is, meters can be used for reading of the energy consumed in our house. So by HomeLink, you can communicate with Modbus, and that can be integrated for metering. Then BACnet can be integrated with BMS. So what is BACnet? BAC is known as BAC, stands for Building and Control. Building Automation Control. BAC stands for Building Automation Control. And this building automation control can be integrated with building management system, otherwise known as BMS. So this is a protocol, that BACnet is a protocol for building system management. For building system management or building management system is a third party integration. That means when we go for a huge buildings, that entire system will be managed by this BMS or building management system. So we have to, the third party needs an input of all functions of the building, that is dimming, heating, temperature. So the integration of this can be done by this HomeLink. And next is RS-232 can be integrated with AV equipment. That means audio video equipment. That means the HomeLink can communicate with RS-232. This RS-232 is a protocol for communication that is used for connecting computers and its peripheral devices. Peripheral devices means mouse, keyboard, etc. of the computer. And by connecting the computer and its peripheral devices, it allows data exchange between them and can use to integrate with this AV, otherwise known as audio video equipment. And then IP web services can also, in this IP, using IP web services, you can also integrate IP cameras. And the main functionalities include visualization. This HomeLink functionalities include visualization. So visualization is that we can get the complete control. We can see and we can visualize the complete control of our home in the smartphones as well as tablets. And schedulers. That means scheduling. If we want to schedule the lighting of the devices, we can schedule with this equipment. That is, if we have to turn the lights of our home at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., we can schedule accordingly and the process will be act accordingly. That means the light will turn on between the time that we have given. That is between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. the light will turn on. Accordingly, we can schedule the equipments working according to our wish. Then trends. Then trends is you can receive a graphical data. That is, you can receive or you can see a graphical data. That is means graph about the energy consumption of your home according to a weekly basis or a day basis. If you have to see the graph level about the energy consumed, you can see, and that type of function is known as trends. Then email sending. If we have to get any alerts about the life of the device, that means if you have bought a device, an equipment, or a bulb, so that device is having 1,000 hours life, you will get an email alert when it exceeds 900 hours of working. You will get an alert in the mails. If you are a person who are checking the mails regularly, you can see the alerts on your emails, and you can also create another notification that you have to get through your mail. And then KNX net or IP router. This KNX net or IP router means that placing router instead of Wi-Fi, we will get a local access. That means within your home only you can control the load. So if you need only the local access of your controls, you can place a router instead of a Wi-Fi. Then ETS interface, that is if you have to keep an interface between the programming and between the devices, this can be also done using this home link, and that is ETS interface stand for engineering tool software interface. That is, it have also a software interface. And we can get the local or remote access between personal computer, otherwise known as PC, then tablet, and as well as a smartphone, touch panel, which means a multi-touch probe. So it is an integral part of the home automation system. And so these all are the hardware components of home automation system. And the software component that we are doing the program is known as engineering tool software, otherwise known as ETS. So this is a unique manufacturer independent tool software. That means in this software you can program any company's devices, and this is used to design and configure intelligent home and building controllations with KNX system. So with KNX system, with the help of this KNX system, this ETS can be used to configure and design and program all type of the devices. So ETS is running with the help of a license, otherwise known as a dongle. And this ETS license is of two types, that is demo. That is by using demo, you can program 5 devices, and by using a light version you can program 20 devices, and by using a professional dongle you can use unlimited, that is you can program unlimited number of devices. So I repeat, with this dongle you can program accordingly with the type of dongle. 3 types: demo you can program 5 devices, by using light version you can program 20 devices, and by professional version you can program unlimited number of devices. And this ETS 5 is the most recently used software that have solutions on all application areas of our home. And this programming is that simple that everyone can do, that a person without having any computer knowledge or a coding skill can do the programming in the computer. That is, this programming is not about any coding. This is just interlinking of one light to one sensor, and like that just you have to program, or just you have to interlink the light and sensors of your home. And then once you complete your programming, and once you have set to the IP address, you can see a following layout in the mobile or a smartphone. That is, for Schneider equipments, there is an app known as Visor for KNX. So you can log in that Visor for KNX with your necessary credentials. You can enter the username and you have to create a password, and then you can link that mobile with an IP address that you are provided in the programming. And by linking the devices, by giving the following credentials, you can just get this layout, and now you can control all the equipments both remotely and locally. And this is all about home automation. This is all about an basics of home automation. I repeat, home automation is nothing without a programming. So I will explain about the programming in another session. So I will just brief out this home automation in 1 or 2 minutes. This home automation is mainly, which is an new technology where the human intervention is very less to control the equipments of our home. Actually, this home automation system has a panel in which all actuators and all the system components have been mounted. This main are three components in the system components, then base components and sensors. That means system components is just for communicating to build the network. System components are being used, that is power supply and USB interface, and this power supply is giving for supplying the power to the devices, and the sensors is being used to sense the devices, and sensors to a large extent can be used for a energy saving. So sensors gives the information to actuators, and mainly three type of actuators which are being using on the home automation is switch actuator, dimming actuator, blind actuator. Switch actuator for just on and off of the lights, then blind actuator for closing and opening of curtains, and then the dimming actuator for dimming up and down, that is for increasing or decreasing the brightness of the light according to your convenience. And so these are the main components, that hardware components. Then integrating all this has been happening, that means all the communication has been happening with an slot known as home link. It is an integral component on the home automation system. And then this all can be, after doing all the requirements and after doing all the programmings in the engineering tool software, which is such a user friendly software, you can just log in into the app and you can just give the credentials of yours, and you can get the layout of the home automation or of the layout of the home control on your phone, and you can operate that in remotely and locally. And if you have to use in remote operation, one thing is that is your Wi-Fi should be turned on at all time. That your home require an internet connection, an active internet connection at the all time. So that's about the home automation. I hope it's clear to everyone. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in my chat box. So for any queries, for further queries, you can contact me. You can feel free to contact me in my email ID that I mentioned in this slide. So now you can ask me the questions. So I got a question from one participant, that is, what is meant by BESS? So BESS is something which is capable of communicating. This is capable of which is capable for communication of information between the devices. So that is what is called as a BESS. So if any other have any doubts, you can just ask me in the chat box. I will be free to reply your queries. Okay, someone asked me that can you repeat BESS in Malayalam? So I'm switching into Malayalam. That BESS എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമുക്ക് ഒരു എന്താ പറയുന്നത്, ഇപ്പൊ രണ്ട് ഡിവൈസ് തമ്മിൽ കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേറ്റ് ചെയ്യണം. ഇപ്പൊ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ ഒരു സെൻസറും ഒരു ആക്ച്വേറ്ററും തമ്മിൽ കണക്ട് ചെയ്യണം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർ തമ്മിൽ ഒരു കമ്മ്യൂണിക്കേഷൻ നടക്കണം. ഒരു ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് അങ്ങോട്ടും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യണം. സോ അത് എക്സ്ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യേണ്ട ഒരു ഡിവൈസ്, ഒരു ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഇന്റർമീഡിയറ്റ് സെക്ഷനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ BESS എന്ന് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. So I got another question, that is it possible to connect my AC to home automation? Yes, it is possible to connect your AC to home automation. That you have to need a thermostat. That is another type of sensor that is used for this temperature control. And you can use this thermostat, and this thermostat you can program that according to your temperature level, that is your convenient temperature level. And so this thermostat when it reaches that temperature level, it will push the HVAC unit and the AC will be turned on. And this setup, that is, I repeat, this setup is in our institute, in our Little Flower Engineering Institute, and by using this setup, we are giving our training, home automation training to our students. by using, this is just a demo that is being used to give to our students, and the students are being using this kit. This is being useful to the students, and so we are being tied up with Schneider Electric for this home automation system. Apart from it, we have built that CCTV alarm, then BMS, and all fire alarm system in our Little Flower Engineering Institute. And also, if you have any doubts, you can ask. So what about KNX? Someone asked that what is KNX? So KNX is just a system. That's a protocol that is used to connect the devices between the programming. That is, if we have to program anything, we have to connect the devices. So for connecting the devices, we are using this KNX, and this KNX is an open standard where we can link the other company's product and we can program accordingly. And someone asked me about the cost in a middle class family. Is that affordable for them? Yes, that it is affordable for a middle class also, and the cost is varying from 25,000 and from up to 25,000. And so it will be vary according to your customization and according to your requirement. And of course, it has been affordable to every middle class family, and even your family, that is your present or conventional system, can be transformed to automated system with help of a binary input. With a binary input devices, you can just change the existing conventional home devices to a home automation devices. For example, if you have to dim the lights in your home, you can just place a dimmable drive. Just place a dimmable drive in your incandescent lamp, so that light can dim up and dim down. So someone has that how can connect into a building management system. So this building management system, to connect to building management system, we are using a protocol which is named as BACnet, otherwise known as Building Automation Control, and which is completely a third party integration. I got a question, voltage is explained. So that is voltage is explained means I think that for KNX devices, all the devices are being supplied with a power of 29 volt DC, and this 29 volt of DC is being made happen by converting the 230 volt AC into this 29 volt of AC with the help of switched mode power supply. And also we have a numerous of applications in home automation, and this everything can be done by a program. This is simple, and we have a building management systems in our college, and so it's very convenient and a very growing technology in our world. So this home automation is such a simple and very reliable technology. Someone asked me, all equipments only use low voltages. Yes, that all equipments is using all equipments are using low voltages, that is 29 volt DC. So someone asked that our college is ITA or IIT. Our college is an ITA college. It's in Cochin, Kerala. We have implemented every type of devices that has been useful to our students. That is like home automation system, CCTV system, then fire alarm. Then we have a building management system, PLCs, and we are giving training to our trainees on all these things. So Have you have any other doubts? Okay, someone asked me to have give once again my mail ID. So my mail ID is, I will show my mail ID. So this is my mail ID, remyaremoos9@gmail.com, REMYAREMOOS9 @gmail.com. And at under, if you get a chance to visit our college, you are so welcome. And this is our college official college website. And if you have any further queries about home automation, I'm ready to help you. And I will come with a programming session on the upcoming session. I will come with the programming, or that means how the automation devices are programmed.